Formula One brought its traveling circus to town. But amidst the flash of pastel suits, Latin beats, and celebrity sunglasses, it wasn't just the engines that roared, it was Lewis Hamilton's soul, heard loud and clear over Ferrari's radio waves. At 40 years old and with 362 Grand Prix start behind him, Hamilton is a living monument of Formula One. But the seven-time world champion reminded the world, and perhaps his new team, that he is far from finished. His voice cracked the airwaves with sarcasm, frustration, and unmistakable hunger. These tires are cooked. Not great teamwork, huh? Why don't we take a break and have some tea? The comment, distinctly British in its dry wit, wasn't just banter. It was the voice of a man who hasn't forgotten what it means to fight. After a rough qualifying left Hamilton starting 12th on hard tires, he clawed his way into the points. But when his own teammate, Charles Leclerc, became a roadblock on softer tires, Hamilton's patience thinned. His complaints over the team radio weren't just heat-of-the-moment gripes. They were a rallying cry, a reminder that this isn't just about data and strategy. This is still a sport driven by fire and instinct. Speaking after the race, Hamilton stood by his words. "It was all PG, wasn't it?" He smirked. "I'm not going to apologize for being a fighter. I'm not sorry I still want it. I know the team wants it too." This wasn't ego. It was the refusal to let age or reputation dull the blade of competition. If Formula One were opera, Ferrari would be its most dramatic aria. Known as much for its glory as its gaffes, Ferrari's strategic missteps have become the stuff of legend. And in Miami, they delivered another act in this never-ending saga. After much back and forth, Leclerc was eventually told to let Hamilton pass, but the delay proved costly. Hamilton's chase of Mercedes prodigy Andrea Kimi Antonelli was too little, too late. Ironically, by race's end, Leclerc's hard tires gave him the edge, and it was Hamilton who had to back off to let his teammate go hunting. A tragic ballet of misaligned timing. Ferrari finished 7th and 8th, a quiet weekend by their standards, and their first race of the season without a single podium. Team principal Frederick Vasseur tried to explain the situation, a balancing act that every Ferrari boss has had to master. "When I make a call, it's for Ferrari, based on what I see in real time," Vasseur said. "You don't have 30 minutes to analyze data. Sometimes you need a lap, maybe two, but we have to decide who's faster. And sometimes what you feel in the car isn't the whole picture." What Vasseur didn't say, but every Ferrari fan knows, is that racing in red means more than just lap times. It means carrying the weight of an entire nation's dreams, the ghosts of Monza, and the shadows of Enzo Ferrari's relentless standards. Hamilton's move to Ferrari wasn't just a career choice, it was a cultural shift. Here's a black British driver, raised on modest beginnings in Stevenage, stepping into the heart of Italian motorsport aristocracy. It's a tale of ambition, identity, and reinvention. It's poetry, written in tire smoke and radio static. He isn't just trying to win races. He's trying to carve a new kind of legacy. And that means navigating not only new machinery, but an entirely different rhythm of racing. Ferrari, for all its mystique, has never been easy. Even legends like Alain Prost and Fernando Alonso left Maranello with stories of what could have been. But maybe Hamilton, with his mix of resolve and resonance, can do what others couldn't: reshape the culture from within. "We're going to try something different next race," Hamilton said. "Looking ahead, we're fixing things. And I truly believe we'll be up there, fighting with Mercedes, with Red Bull. That moment when I'm back on the podium, that's the one I'm waiting for." The Miami GP wasn't just a race. It was a window into the psyche of a man who refuses to fade quietly. It was about passion, raw, unfiltered, sometimes messy. And it was about Ferrari, still searching for harmony in a world that moves faster than ever. When Hamilton said he wasn't sorry, he wasn't being defiant. He was being honest. There's something profoundly human about still wanting to win when the world expects you to settle down. As the sun set over Miami's electric skyline, one thing was clear. Lewis Hamilton hasn't changed his tune. He's just playing it in a new key Ferrari red, with a beat all his own. During the Miami Grand Prix, Ferrari's newest superstar Lewis Hamilton delivered a scathing and at times sarcastic radio performance that stole the spotlight from the race itself. And if anyone thought Hamilton's move to Ferrari was going to be a smooth, romantic ride in red, Miami just handed us a sharp reality check. Hamilton, who spent over a decade setting gold standards at Mercedes, came to Ferrari with high hopes and a mission: win, elevate the team, and maybe even etch his name even deeper into F1 history. But at the Miami International Autodrome, it wasn't just a tarmac that was cooking, it was also the team radio. That quip, dripping with British sarcasm, might go down as the quote of the weekend. It came as Hamilton closed in rapidly on his teammate Charles Leclerc, running on an alternate tire strategy, only to find himself boxed in literally and strategically by team indecision. Hamilton wanted through. Ferrari hesitated, and as every second ticked away, so did the life in his tires. Hamilton's frustration didn't end there. After finally getting the go-ahead to pass Leclerc too late, in his opinion, he later got a call from the pit wall telling him to give the position back. Leclerc had better pace by that point. Hamilton's retort was cutting. Should I let Carlos Sainz through as well? Referencing the Williams driver behind him. The implication was loud and clear. Ferrari's decision-making wasn't just slow, it was erratic. Sky Sports F1's Martin Brundle called it a classic case of mismatched expectations. According to him, what we're seeing isn't just a bad day at the office, it's a cultural disconnect. Ferrari has always been a place where passion runs hot, but decisions sometimes lag, Brundle explained. Lewis comes from a background where the pit wall operates like a military unit, fast, efficient, no time for hesitation. Ted Kravitz went deeper, saying, "This is a battle of philosophies. Hamilton is all about momentum, gut instinct, and getting the job done now. Ferrari still carries a bit of that old-school hierarchy. Let's talk it over, then decide." You throw in two strong drivers like Leclerc and Hamilton, that's a recipe for friction. After the race, Hamilton played down the heat of the moment. "I told Fred, Vasseur, don't be so sensitive," he said, chuckling, but there was steel behind the smile. He wasn't backing off his criticism, just shifting into diplomacy mode. "I'm here to win. That means we need to be sharp, decisive, and on the same page. We can't afford hesitation." It's the kind of straight talk that made Hamilton a legend at Mercedes, but it's unclear how it'll be received in the echo chambers of Maranello, where tradition and pride often mix with politics. What happened in Miami isn't just about a botched team order. It's a signal. Ferrari, for all its legacy, has entered a high-stakes balancing act. With two alpha drivers, Leclerc, the homegrown hero, and Hamilton, the global icon, they build a dream lineup on paper. But in reality, dream teams don't win championships. Cohesion does. If Ferrari wants to return to glory, it'll need to resolve these growing pains fast. Because in Formula One, chemistry off the track matters just as much as pace on it. And with Silverstone, Monza, and a long season still to come, one thing for sure, Ferrari's tea breaks better get shorter.